Breaking down macros. Today we are going to talk about protein, all things protein. So, just a recap, if you want to lose weight, count calories. If you want to lose fat and maintain or build muscle, count macros and work out, but that's for another day. And make sure you're getting enough protein. If you didn't watch my calculating your calories video, then go back and watch that. But we're going to recap just a little bit. The reason I implement these concepts with my clients is because when you're looking at the hierarchy of nutrition pyramid, okay, over here on the right, the base of it is adherence. Without flexibility and the ability to fit a diet around your lifestyle and make it fit into your lifestyle, you will not maintain your results, okay? Because it doesn't matter what diet you use to reach your goals. If you can't stick to it, your results likely won't stick either. So let's get into it. All foods, right, fit into the three macro or large categories: protein, carbs, and fats. Almost all food has a combination of two or more of these things, but the majority of whole foods will be mostly one of these things. Learning what these are and how to manipulate them throughout your day is going to be the key to the food freedom you have always wanted. Okay. Before we can get into macros, though, you have to figure out some calories because it's based on like percentages and things like that. So you should have a general idea of what your calorie intake should be. Okay. And again, you can go use my macro calculator, use the calculating calories video, or stay listening for just some simple ways to measure portion sizes and work on getting those throughout the day. Protein. Okay, imagine your body is like a big city, and the proteins are the superheroes that help it all keep running smoothly. They are involved in so many processes of the body that you need it. Okay, an easy way to remember the best sources of protein is if it has eyes, it's a protein. Okay, so like meat, fish, and eggs, but also sources like dairy, tofu, and beans. Those also have carbs in them, but a lot of other foods have protein in it, but are not the main component. So that's something to watch out for. Okay, they are made up of chains of amino acids and they are considered the building blocks of life. They make up just about every tissue in our body, from muscles, tendons, and even hair, and are involved in almost every process in the body. There are tons of different types of aminos that are combined in different ways to form the various proteins. Okay, again, used to build and repair tissue like muscle. They produce enzymes with help with chemical reactions, hormones, and are also a source of energy. These 20 aminos are divided into essential and non essential amino acids. There are nine essential aminos, which means we have to get them from our diet, and the rest are non essential, which means our body can make them itself, or they can be made through different processes from the essential amino acids. I have to clear something up, okay? A complete protein is one that contains all nine essential aminos, which is mainly meats, but also soy. Our body, though, is smart enough that if we don't eat a complete protein at each meal, as long as you're eating a combination of them on a daily basis, okay, you not every food or meal has to be complete. Your body will still absorb it, it will still store it, and it will still use it. Okay, incomplete proteins still very much so count toward your daily intake. I have seen this on collagen because it is missing, I believe, tyrosine, which is an essential amino acid. However, it still counts towards your daily intake. Is it the best, most high quality source of protein you could get? No. I would suggest, if you're going to supplement with a protein, that it be a whey protein. That is a complete protein. It is, quickly, easily digested, absorbed by the body. However, even if it's not complete, your body will still absorb it and use it. Okay. Protein and all macros, they're measured in grams as a unit of weight, which is then converted to calories as a measure of energy. So, protein is 4 calories per gram. So, when you look at a nutrition label and it says there's 6 grams of protein in the item, you will multiply that by 4 to get the amount of calories or the amount of energy that it contributes to that food. Okay, so if something says that it's high protein, it better be more than 50% of the total calories, right? It should be, again, if you're looking for a good protein source, it should be the majority of the calories in it. If it's high, though, it better be at least 50%. Okay, so marketing labels can be very deceiving to downright lying. So you always want to read your nutrition and ingredient labels. While peanut butter does have protein in it, it's mostly a fat. So keep those in mind. So, how much do you actually need? That's the real kicker, huh? So, for healthy individuals with no kidney issues, two kidneys, right, protein intake should be at least 20%, but up to 35% of your total diet, depending on what your specific calorie goal is. Depending on what your specific goal is, right? This can vary whether you are trying to build muscle, if you're in a deficit, or if you're just trying to maintain. Okay, the real calculation is 1.8 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of lean body mass. Okay, which can get into the weeds of calculation if you don't know your body fat percentage. Um, but as long as calories are adequate for a deficit, I find the sweet spot for most clients looking to lose fat is around 27 to 28%. It can go higher, it can go lower. Again, it's also based on the individual. A serving of protein is about 25 to 30 grams or 100 to 120 calories, which usually equates to about 4 to 5 ounces weight, right, of meat. To keep it simple, there are a couple different visual measurements that, for those of you who aren't interested in weighing food, I do think you should use it as an educational tool, uh, at least for a little bit to learn what that looks like. But here's some other things. So, hand measuring. A portion of protein like meat, fish, tofu, okay, that are mostly like only protein basically, should be about the size and thickness of your palm. So, when you're serving yourself some protein, try to have a piece that matches that thickness and size. If you think of like a burger at a restaurant, right? A patty, that is generally about 4 to 6 ounces. Technically, when talking about calories, it should be weighed raw because it loses about a quarter of its weight when cooked. So if you have 4 ounces of raw meat and you cook it, you're going to end up with a 3 ounce portion. So keep that in mind. Whatever you do, just be consistent with it. Generally speaking, most people will need 4 to 5 servings per day, okay, of that serving size. Again, that would put you at about 100 to 120 grams of protein per day, which would be a solid minimum for most people. Women, I'll say. Men need more. Or it's based on weight and body fat percentage, but men are generally bigger. And anyway, so the other option is looking at the plate method. So when you're looking at your entire plate, protein should take up about a quarter of it. Most people are not eating 3 to 4 square meals off a plate, so you can just visualize, think about that quantity, and then prioritizing protein for some snacks can help you get to your goal ultimately. In conclusion, prioritizing protein is a vital part of reaching a fat loss goal while maintaining muscle. Okay. It's also a valid or a vital part of maintaining fat loss or just really maintaining a healthy weight and muscle mass overall. Okay. If you want to lose weight and don't care if it's muscle, then don't worry about it. Do your calorie thing. Okay. But if you want to stay strong, keep your metabolism cranking, and be able to live longer, focus on your protein intake.